call this meeting to order. City Council meeting, December 21st, 2016. Father, help us to know your ways and to teach us to be wise, discerning, and humble, so we may serve effectively. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Martha, would you please call roll?
Yes. Appletoft.
Here.
Garrity.
Here.
Gibbs.
Here.
Inman.
Here.
Crane.
Here.
Quinn.
Here.
Rothrock.
Here.
Schlossmacher.
Here.
Thank you.
Tonight we have a public hearing on our 2016 budget amendment. I would like to open the public hearing and invite Brian Scott to provide an overview of the amendments.
Thank you, Mayor. We have an amendment tonight of the 2016 budget, which we're just about to conclude. This is kind of a cleanup process, just to write the books before we begin the audit process in 2017. The amendment is concerning two funds, the Mission Crossing TIF Fund and the Cornerstone Commons CID Fund. With the Mission Crossings TIF CID Fund, we had estimated expenditures in 2016 of $187,000, and that was primarily based on revenue that was receiving a sales tax as well as property tax from the development at that time, which was just really the retail component, the Wellstone component. Part of that project had not been completed. That was completed this past year, 2016. That came onto the tax rules. And so we are collecting revenue on that as well. We need to reflect that in our budget. So we need to increase our total budget authority to $233,480. So that reflects all the revenue that we're receiving, both in the property tax increment as well as the sales tax increment. And by the agreement we have with the developer, those funds go back to the developer to help reimburse for costs associated with that project. Likewise, the Cornerstone Commons CID, that project was not up and running when we completed the 2016 budget in the summer of 2015. And so we didn't really have a revenue projection at that time that that project would generate in terms of that special CID sales tax revenue. We do now. So we need to create a fund and establish a revenue expenditure authority in that fund as well of $61,500. And again, that reflects the community improvement sales tax that's being generated off that Cornerstone development that goes back to the developer to help reimburse for costs associated with that project. So those are the two amendments to the budget. Any questions from the council or from the audience?
Any questions from the audience on our budget amendments? If you do, just come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Anybody on council? This will come up later on in the committee reports. All right. Well, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Being there's no public comments, this public meeting is closed. Public hearing is closed. We will take action on this item later on in the meeting. We have two special presentations tonight. First, we want to recognize two very special volunteers who helped with our annual adoption program. Councilmember Gibbs, would you like to do the honors?
I will. Thank you. First, I would like to call up Judge Durrell and his son, Andrew, please. We have lots of youth helpers, but I think this is the youngest one we have ever had. How are you, sir? Would you like to turn around and tell them your name, please?
Andrew?
What shall I say?
Will?
There you go. Okay, and tell me, I understand you went shopping. Okay, tell me what you went shopping for.
Toothpaste, soap, deodorant,
What do you put in your hair, pal?
shampoo.
There you go. Can't help
And
myself.
how many bars of soap did you buy? Did you have a basket full? One basket or two? One. Did you have a whole basket full of deodorant? And a whole basket full of shampoo? So how many did you buy? 50 of each, 100 of each?
A little bit, 50 and 100. I think it was a total of 500 items.
500 items. And that was his shopping trip. I understand that you got an award last year for your volunteerism. Would you like to tell me about that, or do you want me to have your dad tell us?
Thanks, Andrew, appreciate it. Well, we're very pleased that Andrew's developed an interest in community service. My wife Alexandra, who is skulking in the back, she bailed out of being able to come up and present, but she's been instrumental in trying to instill in Andrew a spirit of community service, as she did with our older boy Gregory. But last year, Andrew received a Presidential Gold Service Award signed by President Obama at school for 75 hours of community service. He was the only first grader who did it. And I'm excited about him doing it again this year. For no reason, we'll get yet another presidential award signed by another president. We'll see what that's at. But he's having a great time, and he's enjoying learning the right lessons in life, so we're very proud of him.
Have you got another project that you're working on besides ours? No? It's already
I think he's spent.
That's quite a bit, Andrew.
Take a break for the holiday.
Is that right? You did a great job, and I just want to say that we congratulate you and your family. They got 500 items with some donations from other people and wiped out our dollar store, I believe.
We did.
So that was awesome, and I applaud you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas. Okay, thank you.
Merry Christmas, all.
Now I'd like to have Joe Roney come up and his dad, Nathan. And Joe, you had a special project, and I want you
Yes.
to tell the audience about your project.
So I recently did my Eagle Scout project. My original goal was to provide 200 needy families the ability to cook Christmas dinner.
Did you all get that number? 200 families.
I was only able to raise 100, but that still is a substantial amount. I'm here. It was quite a bit of money, and it was a lot of work. I've been helped with a lot of people. One is Rhonda Sonnebeck.
From Trinity Lutheran
Yes.
Church.
But each bag cost about like $26. So in total, I raised around 4,000-ish
And
to
tell
get
them
all
where you
done.
got your money.
Someone's from Trinity Lutheran with a grant. Some was at Knights of Columbus over at Good Shepherd Church. Another one was at Lutheran. Where else can I go? Trying to remember.
Some anonymous.
Oh yes, some anonymous benefactor that I have no idea what his name is.
And
Yes.
what was in your sack, Joe? Tell me.
There was 2 cans of green beans, 2 cans of corn, 1 can of cranberries, 1 thing of gravy, 1 thing of potatoes, 1 thing of stuffing, and then a $15 gift card. So then the families can then go buy whatever meat they want, or if they somehow already have meat, they can use it to buy whatever household item.
And what was the note that you wrote to each one of them on the sack?
I don't have it, but it was a nice note saying everything is on it, telling them about how all this happened, stuff like that.
And you told them to have a Merry Christmas?
Yes.
And I applaud you. You brought us 101 sacks.
Yes.
To our adoption family. love it when the kids get involved in our community events. So thank you very much, Nathan. Would you like to go over there and shake hands with all the council, please? You can be right here.
358 Oklahoma Church. One more you'll require that in my head.
Good job. Congratulations on your business. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have our Police Department special presentation. Chief Hadley?
Thank you all very much. There's a couple of different things that we need to do tonight. He is taller than me. It's hard to deal with. We let you guys know several months ago that we hired Tanner Reddings from another police department, and he just recently finished with his field training. And I know he's very excited about going to evenings and midnights and having great days off during the week and working the holidays. But usually when they get out of field training, we bring them before you and introduce them. I'm going to let Tanner, why don't you explain to the council a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself.
As she said, my name is Tanner Reddings. I grew up here in Johnson County in Olathe. My parents still own a business here. I graduated high school from Olathe South. At the age of 17, I enlisted in the United States Army. I served about 3.5 years on active duty. When I finished basic training, I was stationed with the U.S. Army Old Guard there in Washington, D.C. My first year and a half of the unit, I performed missions at Arlington National Cemetery, burying our nation's fallen service members, as well as missions at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. After a year and a half of that, I was hand-selected to go to the Pentagon. I worked directly for the Secretary of Defense in his office, performing missions for foreign diplomats, guests of the White House, guests of the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the Congress, the Senate, and all their guests coming to the Pentagon. I was then promoted at the age of 19 to the rank of corporal as a non-commissioned officer. I was responsible for about 25 different service members from all 5 branches of the Pentagon and all of our day-to-day operations. Finished out my 3.5 years on active duty in D.C. I came back home about November of 2015 is when I got out of the military. In January of this year, I was hired by the Lansing Police Department. I went to the academy in Hutchinson, Kansas for 14 weeks. Graduated 3rd of my class there. Went through their field training. Opportunity opened up here in September. I applied. It worked out. I really enjoyed working here. Look forward to meeting you all.
Excellent.
That's great. Yes.
I just want to state that some of the jobs that Tanner had when he was in the service, you have to be one squared away soldier to do that work. And man, if he's that good of a soldier, he's going to make a fantastic cop for us. So welcome aboard. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Now I do have to slide this other part in. Some people have asked about our beards and goatees and everything else, and as I've told you guys in the past, I let the officers not shave for 2 months if they're willing to donate to charity. We did donate to a person that used to work for this city that needed a little bit of help and raised over $600 for him, and I guarantee, other than Kirk Lane's mustache, everything will be shaved off by January 1st. So, the next thing is if I can have Carl and Kathy Casey come down, please. So, you guys know that we do lots of events around the city, and I will tell you that my favorite event is Shop with a Cop. And we did that a couple weekends back, took the kids to Target. Each kid got $150 worth of stuff to go buy. Some of these kids, they were all picked by the schools. And when I say this is our funnest event, we don't invite the media. to this. We take a couple of pictures and that's it, and it makes it, this is our event with the kids, and the kids have a great time. And I will tell you that when I approached Carl and Kathy about helping out with this, originally I thought it was that they were going to do the food. And I will tell you that Carl and Kathy were at the end of the checkout line, bought popcorn for everybody, bought all the stuff that police officers usually buy, and I will tell you that they came to me and said they want to sponsor the entire event next year.
Wow.
It does go a little bit farther than that. We usually take kids from Highlands and Rushton, and I will tell you that Santa Fe Trails, there are kids that live in Mission that go to that grade school. We're also going to take that school on as well, but they have agreed to co-sponsor with Target for the entire event, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that you guys do that. It is very important that the police department and the businesses are working together, and I truly say that when this is our funnest event. We also, Kirk went and had this photo made for you guys to hang down in your guys' business.
Oh, wow.
Love it. Thank you.
Great, thanks a lot.
That is great.
So I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you guys' help.
Thank you very much.
Sure,
Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
Mayor, you want to come down and take a photo?
Please.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Now, the last thing I have for all of you, doing stuff with the kids is always fun. One of the best things about being the chief is watching your people grow. I will tell you that tonight we're going to promote Warren Neff to the rank of corporal. He spent several years in the military as a K-9 unit. Went to Overland Park, and we actually hired him away from Overland Park, and he was a K-9 handler on the SWAT team. And as you may have noticed, as Warren was driving around the city on a motorcycle for years, he came out #1 on the corporal test. And I will tell you that he's been doing the job for the last couple of months and doing quite well. And I will tell you that a lot of people think that you come from another department or you just ride the motorcycle or whatever, but I will tell you that Warren Neff is incredibly intelligent and will make a very good supervisor on our streets. And I can't be more happier than to promote him tonight. So if I can have Warren come down, please. You want to introduce your family?
Sure. My wife is here, Andrea, and my daughter Haley. Please come on up.
Now, the way that this always works is whoever's getting promoted actually picks the people that pins everything on, and I don't want to draw blood. So Warren has chosen his family and Sergeant Rudelesson, who was his supervisor on the traffic unit, to promote him tonight. So if you guys want to go ahead and put his badge and his collar brass on. Mayor, if you'd like to come down and take a photo. Mayor, that concludes our presentations, and I just want to tell you all to have a good holiday weekend.
Thank you very much. We do not have any notes or bonds on our agenda this evening. However, our consent agenda has 10 items tonight. If a council member, staff, or member of the public would like an item removed, they may request that at this time. Is there anyone that wants to remove something from the consent agenda? Not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Mayor, I move the city council adopt the consent agenda as printed, items 3A through 3J. Second.
Please call roll.
Quinn.
Aye.
Rothrock.
Aye.
Kring.
Aye.
Inman.
Aye.
Garrity.
Aye.
Gibbs.
Aye.
Schlossmacher.
Aye.
Appletoft.
Aye.
Motion carries.
If you have any questions regarding our community committees, you may ask staff or bring this up under new business. Public comments. This is an opportunity for members of the public to comment on items that are not on tonight's agenda.
My name is Debbie Coleman. Some of you know me. I am the secretary at Rushton Elementary. And I just wanted to come tonight to thank the city, all the volunteers that arranged. I didn't know you were going to be here, but the people with the Shop with a Cop, because our families benefited greatly from the meals and the presents. And I just wanted to be here to say thank you very much.
Thank you for doing that. Anyone else? Under action items, we do not have anything from our planning commission. Next are the committee reports. Councilmember Appletoft, will you please provide a report from the Finance and Administration Committee?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have two items this evening, 6A and 6B. The first item deals with amendments to the 2016 budget. We earlier had a public hearing on this amendment, and in order to amend our budget, we have to follow Kansas State statute, which indicates we must hold a public hearing, and then formal city council action must be taken. The hearing was held earlier this evening. The proposed amendments to the budget are related to two items: the Mission Crossing Tax Increment Financing Fund and the Cornerstone Commons Community Improvement District Fund. Both of these funds are relatively new, and we have very little history on the receipts and disbursements to guide us in our budgeting. Receipts into these funds are subsequently paid out to the developers to help reimburse them for their investment in the project. Therefore, Mayor, I move the City Council approve the resolution of the City of Mission, Kansas, amending the maximum expenditure authority for this 2016 budget for the City of Mission, Kansas, for the Mission Crossing Tax Increment Financing Fund and Cornerstone Commons Community Improvement District Fund.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call roll.
Appletoft.
Aye.
Schlossmacher.
Aye.
Gibbs.
Aye.
Garrity.
Aye.
Inman.
Aye.
Kring.
Aye.
Rothrock.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The second item is 6B, and it has to do with the Johnson Drive speed limit reduction. This topic of pedestrian and traffic safety on Johnson Drive has been thoroughly discussed over many months, and also in a workshop group that was established by the mayor. And that workshop group made several recommendations. At the November City Council meeting, 3 of those recommendations were addressed. 2 of those were passed and 1 was not. The 3 issues were to improve traffic and pedestrian safety is designating 9 compact car-only parking stalls. That item did pass at the last council meeting. Adding LED lighting to pedestrian crossing beacons. That item also passed at the last council meeting. And one item, which was reducing the speed limit on Johnson Drive, did not pass at the council meeting. It actually had a four votes in favor and 1 against, with 3 members of council not being present. But 5 votes are required to pass an ordinance, so the action actually failed. But our rules do state that any member of the majority could ask for this item to be brought back onto the agenda and brought back before council, and that request was made. So the issue before us again this evening is reducing the speed on Johnson Drive from Roe to Lamar from 30 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour. Therefore, Mayor, I move the City Council approve an ordinance amending Schedule 1 of Section 310.010 of the Code of the City of Mission, Kansas, adjusting speed limits on various streets throughout the city.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Yes.
I want to apologize. Councilmember Schlossmacher and I were attending a National League of Cities meeting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in November when this came up. He and I happened to be the only 2 people on the council that were actually on the task force that the mayor put together. So the recommendations that went forward, I personally believe that Nick and I should have weighed in on it somehow. And I think we talked with the mayor before the meeting, but you have to have a formal meeting to discuss it. We have also had a formal analysis put together by Officer Madden over here at our request to see exactly what's been going on the last 2 years. It's a data collection showing how many tickets were given, what kind of speeds we're seeing, and some of the speeds are up to 45 miles an hour in that area. There are people going from one destination to another. They're not really there to look and be part of the walk-friendly neighborhood I think that we're so promoting. So I want to thank Officer Madden for putting that data together, and if anybody's interested in seeing it, I'm sure we can put something on the website as backup and support to why we would be voting the way we are. Thanks.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Please call roll.
Gibbs.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Inman.
Aye.
Kring.
Aye.
Appletoft.
Aye.
Schlossmacher.
Aye.
Garrity.
Aye.
Rothrock.
Nay.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Is that all on your report?
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Very detailed report. Thank you. Councilmember Rothrock, will you provide a report on our Community Development Committee?
Thank you, Mayor. And bear with me. I've kind of had a lost voice for a few days, so I too have 2 items on my report. First is the senior trip agreement. In 2016, Mission entered into an agreement with the cities of Lenexa and Shawnee to partner in providing travel opportunities for seniors. The program was very successful, and the city is recommending continuing their partnership in 2017. Under this agreement, each city is limited to a maximum of 15 participants per trip, with a waiting list should the other cities not fill their maximum registrations. To cover costs incurred by the cities for this program, an additional 15% upcharge is added to the base charge for each registration. Mayor, I move the City Council approve the intergovernmental services agreement for Mission to participate in offering day extended trips with the cities of Shawnee and Lenexa.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call roll.
Schlossmacher.
Aye.
Garrity.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Appletoft.
Aye.
Rothrock.
Aye.
Inman.
Aye.
Kring.
Aye.
Gibbs.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Second item I have is the building inspection plan review services. Since 2009, Mission has operated under an agreement with Johnson County to provide plan review, code inspection, and code interpretation services in connection with enforcement of the city's building codes. Last month, the county notified the city that effective December 31st, they would be unable to continue to provide these services. Staff has been exploring our options going forward, but the short time frame involved in and to ensure that there is no disruption in service delivery, it is recommended that council authorize the mayor and city administrator to enter into a 90-day short-term contract with another entity to provide these services. Any recommendation for a long-term agreement will need to be considered and approved by council. Mayor, I move the city council authorize the mayor and city administrator to approve any and all documents necessary to secure plan review and inspection services on a short-term basis beginning January 1st of 2017.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call roll.
Gibbs.
Aye.
Inman.
Aye.
Pring.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Rothrock.
Aye.
Schlossmacher.
Aye.
Appletoft.
Aye.
Garrity.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Randy. You can back that off. Thank you for doing it. Yes. We do not have any unfinished business tonight. However, we do have one item of new business. The city's land use attorney, Mr. Pete Heaven of Lathrop and Gage, is here this evening and will provide a brief update on this issue.
Mayor, members of the council, I'm Pete Heaven, land use attorney for the city of Mission, and I extend my warmest greetings and wishes for a happy holiday season for each of you. About 3 weeks ago, we were approached by Tom Valenti, who, as you know, is our gateway developer, to enter into what's called a memorandum of understanding. That is a non-binding expression of intent. It doesn't bind the city, and it doesn't bind Mr. Valenti, but he will be speaking with you in a couple of minutes about why he believes it's important to get the project started. The memorandum of understanding merely states Tom's intent to proceed with the project in 3 phases. The first being apartments over retail on the west end of the project, and moving from there to the east side where there will be junior retail boxes. It also expresses our intent to receive from him an application for tax increment financing, community improvement district financing, and industrial revenue bond financing. It does not commit the council, but we accept and acknowledge that he will be asking for those incentives. And then finally, the memorandum of understanding expresses the intent of Tom to start the project in March of next year. It will be done initially by conventional financing, and we will look to our incentive package down the road. Staff has reviewed this. We have negotiated the terms. It, again, is non-binding on the city, but as Tom will explain to you, there are some reasons he would like to have it going forward. We also learned, or recognized when we were in this process, that in 2005 we signed a pre-development agreement with the original developer of the Gateway project, which provided for reimbursement of the city's expenses for consultants and other matters that we expend and have incurred as a result of this project. The developer has changed. We have a new owner. It's still Tom's company with Mr. Gross, but it's a different name, and we're going to ask that the council condition the signing of this MOU on an assignment of that pre-development agreement to the new developer. So we have a continuous stream of reimbursements of our expenses. So with that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I think Mr. Valenti would like to address the council.
Any questions from council? Mr. Evan?
Staff does recommend approval, and if you have any questions before you take a vote, please call them.
Thank you very much. Mr. Valenti, would you want to come and speak?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. I'm pleased to be here tonight, but I feel at a significant disadvantage having to follow a child hero, an Eagle Scout, and a hero of the United States Army, and the men in blue who protect us all. So I don't have anything as significant as they have to say, but the reason that we're asking you to enter into this memorandum of understanding is because I think it's important for all of us to get this project started. And what we have proposed is, as Pete has described, that we would take the risk of starting the project with the retail, small store retail, and the apartments above them along Roland Drive and Johnson Drive without your needing to enter into any TIF or CID agreement. We can separately finance that with bank financing and our own money. Now, needless to say, we'll find ourselves further in the hole, but I think you should look at that as encouragement that we will carry through the project through the 2 subsequent phases. The second phase would include the 2 hotels, the Aloft Hotel and the Element Hotel. And I can say that now because we've signed the franchise agreement, we've paid the fees. It'll be a total of 200 rooms. The Aloft would be 150 and the Element would be 50 rooms. In addition, we would build a parking deck. And then the third phase would consist of potentially 3 mid-size box retailers that would take the place of the Walmart. I do have some good news to report tonight. One of the retailers that we've been working with has informed us that they are going to their site development committee in mid-January, and they're going to their real estate committee in the end of February. So I think that's a great sign. And that's the largest of these potentially 3 retailers, so that's really good. I don't have any other progress to report, and I don't want to say the name until we've got those approvals, but I think that our goal has been that these 3 phases merge, that you really won't see any lag time between the phases, and I think they will come on board more or less at once. But whether it's the public, the tenants, the banks, everybody needs to have confidence that this project is going to happen, and we need to come out of the ground to give them that confidence. I appreciate your confidence. I appreciate your working with us on this, and appreciate you all meeting with me and my partner Alan last week. I think we had good, frank discussions, and I hope that you realize that we are committed to making this project great. Not again, but great. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or if there are questions from the public. Yes?
Tom, has the office building been removed from the
plan? No, it hasn't been removed from the plan. I didn't mention that, but I should have. The office building is still on the plan. It will still be on the final plan that will be presented to the Planning Commission. We are still working on a tenant. I hope that we will have one.
I had a couple comments over the last week about, based on your concept of doing things in a phased process, if you get the apartments in play in phase 1, but don't have the parking, what would that leave us? And it's my understanding you'll have enough surface parking for the apartment residents.
Yes, we'll have more than enough surface parking for both the apartments and for the retailers. You know, and again, I hope that that isn't the way it happens, but if that's the worst case, then we'll have more than enough parking at grade.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Well, Tom, I know we as a council are very much encouraged and looking forward to it, and all of Mission is looking forward to getting this started, and we are ready.
I've said this to the council and the members of the public before. I promise I will not let you down.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Yeah, Mayor, I move that the City Council approve the memorandum of understanding for the Gateway Development Project.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call roll.
Heppletoft,
Aye.
Quinn,
Aye.
Rothrock,
Aye.
Inman,
Aye.
Gibbs,
Aye.
Kring,
Aye.
Garrity,
Aye.
Schlossmacher.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor's report tonight, we have appointments. Yes, did I forget something? On new business, I forgot. Councilmember Gibbs, could you?
Okay, I'm going to read something. Can I read something?
Yes.
So I won't forget. How does our community see the City of Mission this Christmas season? They see a community center stuffed to the gills with sweepers, car seats, shirts, toys, and so much more waiting to be wrapped by 50-plus volunteers and looking for a home. They see a public works facility with 60-plus bicycles being repaired by a loving volunteer and many helping hands awaiting Santa and an unsuspected child. And think about this, you've already given away 45 bicycles that have been repaired. They see the Mission Police Department in the Fire District number 2 on hand with willing hearts to deliver food and gifts to our families. They notice it is not just an ordinary delivery when a police officer returns and says, "That family really needed the help. What else can we do?" They are thankful for a mayor and a council who supports the program and gives of themselves, whether in money, wrapping gifts, adopting families, or delivering the overflowing baskets. They notice the Mission Public Works at Hy-Vee stacking groceries into their truck, knowing they will be enjoyed by 65 Northeast Johnson County families. They see willing residents, friends, and businesses who have donated almost $12,000 to make 65 families' holidays happier. They see 130 boxes of groceries stacked with hams, turkeys, and all the trimmings, and sitting on top of all those, marshmallows and hot chocolate for the young at heart. They see a Mission business who has given every family a can of popcorn, a community center employee who has knit 137 scarves. They see fresh produce, which is a rare treat, donated by a Mission resident. Notes to South socks were donated for every entire family. Personal items were shopped for by a child, all to make them happy on Christmas. They hear about a resident who gave a roll of gold coins to a family. Another who donated $200 for just soap and deodorant. They hear about local businesses that adopted whole families and showered them with gifts. Our residents smell the hot homemade cinnamon rolls donated by an elderly lady and a warm lunch of soup and chili donated by a local church. They learn of a 17-year-old youth who wanted to take groceries to 200 families in Mission this Christmas. They also see the smiles and the tears of joy on the faces of those who receive the gifts on Christmas morning, knowing that the City of Mission cares and loves each and every one of them. As you know, this list could go on and on and on. I'm just very proud to say that I am proud to be a part of this event, and a very special thanks to all of you for sharing your love with me. Merry Christmas.
Well, Susie, I know you have a lot of volunteers, but we always need a general, and you are that general. With so much energy, it's unbelievable. So thank you, Susie, for all you do. Thanksgiving, Christmas, throughout the year. Thank you, Susie. Well, now the mayor's report. No, that was a lot better. We have appointments tonight, so I think I will begin. I will put before you the appointments of Stuart Braden, Ward 1, Charlie Torpedo, Ward 3, Frank Bruce, Ward 3, Mike Lee, Ward 4, and Robin Ducalo, Ward 4, to the Planning Commission with terms expiring on December 31st, 2018. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I move the City Council uphold the appointments of Stuart Braden, Charlie Torpedo, Frank Bruce, Mike Lee, and Robin Duclo to the Planning Commission with terms expiring December 31st, 2018.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I guess I don't vote, I'm sorry. All opposed, same sign. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, but I don't know, I know Frank is here. Anybody else here that, but I'm going to say it anyway. Thank you, Stuart, Charlie, Frank, Mike, and Robin for serving. Next, I put before you the appointment of Frank Bruce, Ward 3, to the Board of Zoning Appeals with a term expiring December 31st, 2019. Do I hear a motion?
Mayor, I move the City Council uphold the appointment of Frank Bruce to the Board of Zoning Appeals with a term expiring December 31st, 2019.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say aye. Frank, thank you again. Now for our city administrator's report. Ms. Smith, you have a report this evening.
I do have just a couple of items, Mayor. Thank you. First, Local Government Days, which is held in Topeka each year, is scheduled for January 25th. If you are interested in attending that, please let Martha know and we'll get you RSVP'd. It's a nice chance to go over and meet some of your legislators in Topeka. Again, January 25th. Also, just a reminder that with the upcoming Christmas holiday, City Hall will be closed this Friday, December 23rd, and next Monday. Before we meet again, we will also be closed on Monday, January 2nd. So we will have those posted on the doors and on the websites. And then we'll all be back ready next week for a very busy week as we start to wrap up the end of the year and look forward to a really great 2017. So thank you all for your time and your commitment. Want to kind of close out tonight's meeting with our year-end video. As I watched the video earlier today, I turned to Emily and I said, you know, the theme for 2016 is obviously people. Some years it's bulldozers and construction projects, and I think that couldn't be any more fitting after how we started tonight's meeting with all the people that we celebrated and recognized. So with that, thanks to Emily for putting this together, but let's close out 2016 the same way we started, and that is caring about the people in our community.
Okay.
Well, good job, Emily. That was really well done. Well, before I say this, I do also want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and gosh, just the best to your families, and thanks everybody for all they do. Council, thank you very much. This is such a good council that I'm proud to be a part of it. So, thank you very much, and Merry Christmas. And if there is no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.